Where is in morning session? Yes. Okay. Now I'll continue with the new topic, and then inheritance. Some inheritance. Now let us discuss what is meant by inheritance. Inheritance in the sense you are getting, you can able to access, or you can get a parent class properties to subclass, parent class properties to child class, or base class properties to derived class, or superclass properties to subclass. Okay, fine. You know what is the definition for it? It acquires the properties from super to sub, or parent to child, right? How we can acquire the property from superclass to subclass, and then what this is, it follows some type of relationship like generalization relationship. We already discussed what is the generalization. Actually, the generalization is nothing but it's a property of inheritance. The property of inheritance means that you can able to extend a class to the next level. You can extend a class to the next level. For example, already we have a discussion with what is inheritance, right? Now, again, we take any other example. For example, we'll take a Flipkart or any e-commerce site, or otherwise any commercial sites. Then what happened? One base class is one base class. For example, index is the base class for every project. Index is the base class for every project. Let's remember, index is base class for class or file for any project. But in here, main.py is the base file. Main.py is the base file. By using main.py, you can able to access different classes present in that particular project. For example, you have a class something like electronics. The electronics group or cluster is divided into something like laptops, mobiles, and accessories, whatever it may be. But these classes are belongs to, or it gets the properties from electronics class only. Electronics class only. So we will have a discussion now. What is the type of inheritance? What is the types of inheritance? What is inheritance? Actually, inheritance is nothing but it's acquires a property from super to subclass. Okay, how we can? What are the different way to access properties from superclass to subclass? That is types of inheritance. Let's discuss what is it. What are the different types of inheritance? That is the first one, single inheritance. Single inheritance. The second one is multiple inheritance. The third one, multi-level inheritance. The fourth one, hierarchical inheritance. The fifth one is hybrid inheritance. Let us discuss one by one. What is meant by single inheritance? Single inheritance consists of only one class, only one superclass, and one child class. One superclass and one child class. Means only one superclass is there, one child class is there. One child class can able to access the properties from the superclass. That's it. Let's see an example how to write in program. Let's single inheritance. I'm defining something like class college. Defining class is a college, and then I'm just initializing in it double underscore in it of self. Right here I'm writing that just I'm declaring the data. I'm declaring data like something college name equal to college name, and then self dot address right, and then branch dot branch. Right, otherwise the number of departments, whatever it is, number of departments. Let's take this one, number of departments. Of number. Yes, let's take here college name, comma, address, comma, number. Yes. Now the college class is created. Now the college class can display like definition display. I am giving display is a method self, but here self dot print self dot college name. Just I am giving college name here just for you understand. Now class college I'm giving version 2. That means I added a new department. Otherwise I want to update the department. I want to update the department numbers. I want to update the department numbers by using child class. So here I want to access the parent class to child class. That in Java we can use the extend keyword, but we don't have extend keyword here. We are giving in parentheses. Means that the college 2 having the properties of college also, that is this college is nothing but base class. Now it's a base class. This one is derived class. Let's see. I extended college to version 2, that is college 2. Here I am defining, I don't want to define anything, just I am updating the data. Here let's say I want to pass the date. I want to pass the names to the college by college 2. Yes. Let's see definition init self comma. Here I want to add one more thing. That is Prince name. principal. I want to add the principal name here, and then right, I want to add the principal name, comma, college name, address, number. I'm doing one more thing. Right now, super is a method. Super dot init of I'm just passing that college name, address comma number, just I'm passing the parameter as college name, address and the number. Now what it initialize the data. Let's now take it as print college name, address. I'm printing college name and address here. But here I'm printing like a super dot and taking that values like number of departments equal to, I'm giving 10 here. I'm updating the number of departments here. Let's see. Print. No need to take this. Let's see a simple example. No, don't go with complex things. Right. Just I'm printing that one, and again printing college. Number of departments. That is the value is the number of departments. Now here I'm not able to print this data. This data. Why? Because it's a base class. Base class consists of this data, but I'm passing a parameters by using subclass. Why? Because in college already they developed a number of departments is there, and then college address is this one, and then this is like this. But in version 2, I want to add a more number. I want to add a more number of departments. For example, I want to update the department number. Then what happens? Then you can change like this here, right? Let's create a class, create an object, but we have to create an object for child class. Why? Because a child class consists already the properties of parent class, right? The child class consists already the properties of parent class. So you can create a class for object for child class. Now let's create college version 2. I'm giving equal to college 2. Just I'm passing the parameters like principal name is Tom. And then college name is SVP for example, and then the address is and the number of departments we have, that is already 2 departments is there. Now I am updating it with 6 departments. 6 departments. Now I'm calling that call version 2 dot display. Call version 2 dot display. Let's execute this program. See here, college 2. I get the spelling mistake. I hope so. Yes. What is this? Takes 4 positional arguments, but we were taken 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's check it once. Yes, the number of departments is 2 it's given, but here it takes college name, it's printing college name. Okay, college address, the number of departments, already they give the number of departments. So here I am giving number, Let's take here, I'm going to give 6. Right. Now, the init method takes 4 positional arguments, but 5 were given. Here, only it takes only 4 positional arguments. Why? Because I am giving here 4: number, address, college name, and principal. The self is not given. But here I am passing the parameters like college name, address, and number. College name, address, and number. But I'm not taking as principal. I'm not taking as a principal. Let's give this one also here. Right. What is happening here? Let's see once. I defined one class is a college. I defined class is a college. Okay. In college consists of the variables like principal name and college name and address and number of departments. Okay. Now the college is different. By starting the college, we have these details. Now I want to update the details. With a new values. Then you have to extend class 2 to class 1, class 1 to class 2, class 1 to class 2. You have to extend the data. This concept is nothing but inheritance. Why? Because here you are getting all properties from base class to child class. And here what you are doing, that is a super keyword you are using. So super keyword which is used to super class object, which is used to focus the super class object, the super method. It's a built-in method which is used to focus the super class object, that whenever you are initiating the super class object with these parameters, right, then the super class init method will activate, and then it stores the values of principal whenever you are calling college version 2 dot display. Why? Because for college, I'm not created for college, but I created for college 2. But I created the display method within college 1. I'm creating a display method in college 1. So without creating a parent class object, you can able to access a parent class properties by using the inheritance concept. That is, we are extending a program to next level. We are extending a program to next level. That is class to next level, right? That is main use of inheritance. Let's take a simple example. You will understand better way simple inheritance, right? The main purpose of inheritance is nothing but if you want to add a more versions to the program and more versions to the applications, you can use inheritance concept. You can reuse the code and you can extend the code without disturbing parent class objects. Let's see. I'm creating a class like A, and then show definition show I'm giving here. Now I'm printing I'm from base class. Now I'm declaring the child class here, class B, right? Class B of A. Here definition show one print of I am from derived class. I took two different classes, and then the B class extending the class A. The B class is extending class A. So the B class consists of all the data which is present in A. Now let's see what happened. I'm creating object B equal to capital B. I want to print base class functions. Now what we will do? B dot show I am giving. Let's see here. Sorry, I have to give self here. For instance methods, you have to use the self. That is mandatory, right? Here B equal to, I'm creating object for derived class, but I am calling a base class object. That is show is an object. Show is a method, right? In Python, everything is an object, so I'm calling this an object also. Okay, fine. Next, I want to call B dot show one. See here. This is derived class. This one is derived class. Here, what is happening now? One class I created like A, and then another class I created B, right? One class is here A, and another class is, that is B. Right? I'm accessing the properties. From A to B. Right? This is the symbol to specify the generalization. Right? This one is the symbol. Wherever you are getting this symbol in a class diagram, that is called, that class is inherited from other class. One class is inherited from other class. Okay, just remember this one. I'm giving here A class, B class. B class is extending A class. Now A is the base class, and then B is the derived class. Here, only one base class and only one child class is there. Both are extending. So it is single inheritance. Now, the next one is multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. We'll discuss about this one. What is multi-level inheritance? Multi-level in the sense, it's accessing the data by level wise. For example, one superclass consists of a base class. One superclass consists of a base class. That base class again consists of another base class. Again consists of base class. Likewise, a grandparent and parent and child. Grandparent and parent and child. Like this relationship we have. Let's see in programming. I'm defining class A. Defining class A. Here I'm giving void. Sorry, not void here. No data types, right? A definition show. Sorry, display. I will give display. A display. Okay. Now I'm printing. I am from super base class, and then I'm creating one more class B, that is extended from A, definition B display. I will give B display self. Now print I'm from base class. I'm from base class. Next, I'm giving one more class C of B. Class C extending class B. Now definition C display of self. Print I am from derived class C. See here what happened. Here I created one grand super class subclass. This subclass consists of another subclass. This subclass consists of another subclass. That is here A, here B, here it's C. Okay, there are three different classes. Here what happened? B is extending A. And then C is extending B. So the C class consists of A and B data also. Here what happened? The B consists of A, right? Here the C consists of B and A. B and A properties. Clear? Now let's execute this one. Now I want to create an object. Where we need to create an object means the C consists of B data and A data also. So I'm creating an object for C, small c equal to capital C. Okay, I'm creating an object. Right now C dot C display. Okay, C dot C display. It's getting an output. I'm from derived class C. Now I want to call a data. To superclass. I want to data I want to call a data from superclass. So C dot B display, B display, right? Let's check an output. Yes, I'm from derived class and then I'm from base class B. Now C dot check what is an output. I call it, and then by using C object from base, right? And then I called A class object. Class also consists of another child class that is called multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance means here it's from this to this one, from class A to class, it's level 1. The class B to class C, again you are extending, that is level 2. Means the version 0, version 1, version 2 also you are implementing. Right? That is level by level. Right. The next one is multiple inheritance. The next one is multiple inheritance. What is meant by multiple inheritance? Multiple inheritance in the sense one child class consists of two base classes. One child class consists of two child classes. Means a father and mother son relationship. Father and mother and son relationship. Means a derived class consists of two parents or two base classes. Right? How? See here. This is class A. This is class B. And then here it is class B, class C. Here it is class C. That's right. It is A. This one is B. This one is C. Right? One derived class consists of two base classes. One derived class consists of two base classes. In remaining languages, right, the multiple inheritance will not support. The multiple inheritance will not support, but in Python, it supports the multiple inheritance. It supports the multiple inheritance. Let's remember, it is also interview question. What is the difference between in Python and different languages by multiple inheritance? What is the difference? Means it supports the multiple inheritance. It supports multiple inheritance, but the Java does not support multiple inheritance. Right? Let's see how to write a program for this. I want two base classes. I want two base classes. Base 1. I'm giving something like a father. Father is one class, and then definition, display, print. I am father. Right? Self. I want to create two different classes, right? I'm creating one more class, class mother, class mother. Its definition, display of self. Don't print and mother. Next one, I'm creating child here. Class child definition display 3. Here I'm printing and child. Here there are 3 different classes. Here our target is we want to access 2 classes methods at a time. 2 classes methods or 2 classes properties at a time. Let's do like this. Father, it is father comma mother. Father comma mother. By using comma operator, you can pass the parameters father and mother, so you can access the 2 methods, 2 classes properties, 2 different classes properties, right? Now the child class consists of a father properties and mother properties also. Let's create a class for child, object for child, object child, okay, whatever, object child, that is child, I'm creating. Now object child dot display, object child dot display, object child dot display 2, object child dot display 3. See here what it will print. Yes, I'm father and mother and child. This is a way to access the multiple inheritance. Access the multiple inheritance. The multiple inheritance in the sense one child class consists of 2 different parent classes. 2 different parent classes. Just remember this one. And then next one is hierarchical inheritance. Next one is hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance is for one base class consists of 2 parents. One base class consists of 2 child classes, or 2 child classes consists of same base class. Just remember, hierarchical. Hierarchical inheritance. Two child classes extends same base class. Just remember this one. Let's write a program for this. Class A, just I am getting this one only. Have a time, right? These are two different, three different classes. Okay, here one class consists of 2 child. One class consists of 2 child. Let's change it. It's like a parent. Otherwise, one. Right. 2 members are depending on only one base class. One base class. Let's see here. It's of father. The child is depending on father, and then the mother also depending on father. Mother also depending on father. Let's. In this case, you have to create an objects for 2 different classes. Objects for 2 different classes. That is for mother, and that one thing is for child. One thing is for child. That is two different objects I created. So I'm calling this child dot display, child dot display, and then mom dot display. Both are same. Both are same means that one base class consists of two different childs. One base class consists of two different childs. One child is having one parent class, and then another child consists of another parent class also, right? This is called hierarchical inheritance. One more thing, what is hybrid inheritance? What is hybrid inheritance? Let's see next one, hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance in the sense it is the combination of two or more inheritance types. Right, it is a combination of two or more inheritance types. Here I want to combine two types of inheritance. That is, one is the hierarchical and multi-level. I want to combine both. That becomes that hybrid inheritance. What is meant by hybrid? Hybrid in the sense two or more combinations. It is hierarchical inheritance, and then I want to create single inheritance to hierarchical inheritance. Let's house. I'm creating class for house. Definition, house fun. Print and house. Let's see here. It's house. Right. Now here I create an object for 2. By using this object, everybody is in home only. Let's see. Child dot house. House fun. Child dot house fun, and mom dot house fun, and right, everybody is in house only. Let's create zero positional arguments. That is, we need to define a self again. This, see here, I'm house and I'm house. Why? Because here, let's see a diagram how it will be. That is one is house. Another one is father. And then father consists of two classes, that is mother, and one more thing is child. Let's see here. First one is house. The second one, father, capital. The third one, mother. The fourth one is child. Let's see how the relationship is works. Mother having father properties, and then child also sharing that father properties. Now the father belongs to house. Let's see here. From this to here, it's single inheritance. This one is single inheritance. This one is single inheritance, but from here, from here to this one, it is hybrid inheritance. That one is hybrid inheritance. Okay, that is there is a types of it acquires a property from one class to another class. What are there are different types of inheritance is there. That is one single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level, hierarchical, and hybrid. What is single? One parent class and one child class. That is single inheritance, right? What is multi-level? If child class consists of base class, that base class consists of super base class. That is multi-level inheritance. The next one is multiple inheritance. Next one is multiple inheritance. One base class, two base classes and only one child. Only one child. That is multiple inheritance. What is hierarchical inheritance? Hierarchical inheritance in the sense one class consists of two childs. A parent consists of is siblings of child. Sibling of child. That is called hierarchical inheritance. The next one is hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance in the sense it is a combination of two or more. It's a combination of two or more inheritance types. Inherited types. That is called hierarchical inheritance. In any concept or any computational exam, mainly your Infosys exam, without inheritance, you will not get any question paper. You will not get any question paper. Right? Just remember this one, and then remember what are the relationship. What are the relationship criteria? Let's discuss about an abstraction. Next concept is abstraction. What is meant by abstraction? Abstraction in the sense, it is an act of representing the essential features without giving a background details. Right? That is called exception. Now, how we will implement in programming? How we will implement in programming? Here, what happened? Here, I can able to create an object for father class also. I can able to create an object for father class also. At the same time, here one is example, aggregation example. Let's see here. In aggregation, what happened? I can create another class object in some other class. I can create another class object in some other class. But by implementing abstraction, you can prevent a creating object for classes. Creating object for classes. Why? Because the abstract class, for the abstract class, you cannot create an object. Just you can extend the object to the next level, and you can implement in another class. You can implement in another class. You can't able to create an object for abstract classes. You cannot create an object for abstract classes. Okay, let's discuss how we will create or we will implement in Python programming abstraction. Now for that, from ABC import ABC comma ABC meta abstract method. Right, you have to import this statement. This statement is telling like from ABC. ABC is nothing but abstract base class. Just remember this one. What is ABC? ABC is abstract base class. ABC is abstract base class. Here also you have ABC. ABC is nothing but abstract base classes, but here abstract base class meta. Meta in the sense the data the data consists of another data. The data consists of another data that is called metadata. That is called meta. Now it is abstract method. Abstract method, we are also implementing the abstract method annotation. Abstract method annotation. Let's see here. Class, I'm implementing like polygon. Polygon in the sense more than two sides. More than two sides is called polygon. Right. Poly means many. Gon means sides. Many sides. Okay. I want to differentiate what are the different sides. Based upon sides, I want to put a name like a triangle or rectangle, whatever it may be. Right. Now meta class equal to ABC meta. ABC meta. This is mandatory. If you give like this, you can't able to create an object for polygon class. You can't able to create an object for polygon class. Let's see. I'm defining if you define a abstract class, each and every object in abstract class is abstract methods only. Each and every method is abstract method only. Here we don't have a declaration part in Python, so you are using that annotations. For static methods also you are using annotation called atstatic, right? Atstatic method. Here also abstract method. Abstract method I'm using. So it's an abstract method. Definition: number of sides I'm giving of cell. Just I'm passing this one. Why? Because it's only the declaration part. The abstract classes only have declaration part, but you no definition part. You have to extend this one, and then you need to define the data. You need to define an object like number of sites, right? Now just I'm creating object for this one. Let's see what will happen. Poly equal to, poly is an object name, polygon. I'm creating object for abstract class. Let's see. It's getting error. Cannot instantiate abstract class polygon with abstract methods number of sites. Why? Because you can't able to create an object for abstract classes. Right? Now how we can access or how we can implement the abstract classes, in the sense we need to extend to the next level. Let's see. Class, I'm giving triangle. When class is a triangle, I am extending from this one polygon. Here definition, number of sites. Print, I have 3 sites. If you call triangle, it says that I have 3 sides. Now class pentagon of polygon. I'm again extending polygon. Definition, number of sides. I'm taking this one only. Number of sides. If number of sides is 5, then it will become pentagon. Now I'm again writing class for hexagon. Right? Hexagon consists of 6 sides. Hexagon consists of 6 sides. Let's see. I'm creating object. Only one base class here. One base class, 3 child classes. One base class, 3 different child classes. So how we can create an object? You have to create object for 3 different classes, 3 different child classes. So T, I'm giving T, capital T equal to triangle. I'm giving capital T triangle, capital T dot number of sides. I'm giving number of sides. I'm calling this one. I create an object for triangle and then I'm calling number of sides in triangle class, right? And the next one is pentagon. Pentagon equal to pentagon of, right? Now capital P dot number of sides. Clear? And the next one, hexagon. H equal to hexagon constructor, right? H dot number of sides. Number of sides. Let's execute this one. Yes, this is spelling. See here, I have 3 sides, 5 sides and 6 sides. But in previous one, you can't create an object for abstract classes, but you can extend the abstract class and then you can define a method. Here, one more concept it includes, that is method overriding. What is method overriding? Let's discuss about method overriding. In inherited classes, two methods contains same type of signature, then the base class method overrides superclass the subclass method overrides the superclass method, right? This is method overriding. What is method overriding? You have 2 classes, A and B class. B have properties of A, that is B extending A. So B also having the same type of function and then A also having the same type of function. Then B class function is overrides A class function, right? Let's see. Let's write a code. Class A, I'm writing class A definition show. Just I'm printing hi. Let's write class B extends class A definition show print by. Self, here also we'll put self, right? Now what is the output? Of this code? Now let's create an object B equal to B dot show. Here I'm calling B dot show. Here I created object for B. Okay, B consists of A also. Now B dot show I'm calling B dot show. Now the cursor thinks where we will go. Where you will go. Why? Because the A also consists of show method and then B also consists of show method. So first what cursor will do? What cursor will do? First it goes, the cursor moves to class A. The cursor moves to class A and then it prints the data. It prints the data whatever the present inside the function, that is high, right? Now again it comes, it checks for B and then again it checks for the either method is present or not. Yes, the method is present. Now it overwrites, it erases what data already printed. It overwrites and replaces the data like by. The output of this program is by. Now let's execute this one. By. What is overriding? Overriding in the sense, in inherited classes, two methods contain same type of signature. Then subclass method overrides the superclass method. The subclass method overrides the superclass method is called overriding. Here also we have override. Here also we have override. Means the number of sites I defined in base class. In every child class I defined a number of sites only. Number of sites only with same type of signature. Means it has also only one parameter in all the classes, right? The same type of signature. In every time it overrides the method. It overrides the method. Right now, just a second. These are the object oriented concepts, right, in Python. These are all object oriented concepts in Python. Clear? Now let's see one InfinityQ program. Before going to that, I want to say about one important function, that is map function. Python map. What is the use of map function? Actually, let's execute this one. So, where it is? Map function. Right? What is map function? Map function in the sense, it executes specified function for each item in the iterable. It executes, it's very important, executes a specific function for each item in iterable. Means that, let's write a simple program, you can understand in better way. I'm just writing definition fun. Definition fun. The fun consists of a comma b, two parameters, right? I'm just return a plus b, return a plus b. Now I'm giving the map function here, x equal to map of function name, comma, what are the values you have to, what are the values, that is like a comma b. Let's think that is a comma b. Just I'm printing here, print of x. Let's execute this program. See here, it gets an error. Why? Because a is not defined. So this function consists of like 1 comma 2, and then one more thing is 2 comma 3. I'm giving like this. That's it. Prints an object. Why? Because the map function returns a list. The map function returns a list. Now let's see what is an output. 3 and 5. 3 and 5. What is happening here? The fun is a method name. The fun is a method name, that is a function name. It consists of list of variables a A is the first list and then B is the second list, right? It's an iterable. It's an iterable. I'm giving as a tuple here. I'm giving as a tuple here 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 3. It adds both in iterable. That means mapping the function. It first A consists of 1 comma 2 and then B consists of 2 comma 3. Here A plus B I'm giving. A plus B means that in each and every iteration, it takes the data and then it maps to a function. It maps to the function, right? It maps to the function and it returns the value like a list. It returns the value like list. It is map function. This map function, right? Let us discuss one InfinityCube program, and then before going to that, as of now, any doubts? Okay, let's write one InfinityCube program on inheritance. I have one class here that is apparel. Just remember one thing. In InfinityCube questions or InfinityCube program codes in any computational exams, if you want to get a job, you have to analyze what is the diagram first. Why? Because based on the diagram only, you have to write a program. Let's see. An apparel shop wants to manage the item. Apparel shop wants to manage the items which it sells 25 minutes, right? 20 sorry, it's 25 minutes in the sense it's a time. Okay, it's spelling mistake. I hope so. Okay. Just 1 second. Yes. Here, an apparel shop wants to manage an items which it sells. One shop is there, it wants to manage an item because you need to create some like LMS, or a CMS, consumer management system, right? Now, for this one, they have given a classes like one is the base class is apparel, and then they have two types of things is there. One is a cotton, and then one is silk. One is the cotton items, and then another one is silk items. See here, item ID, prices, and item type. The three attributes are private attributes. The three attributes are private, and then here counter static. Counter is one variable which is defined in static. Now it has some operations. Now cotton has a private variable and silk has a private variable and it has some operations. And then see here the relationship, which type of inheritance you are looking for. It is hierarchical inheritance, means that one base class consists of two derived classes. Clear? Now let's move further. Apparel class initialize the static variable counter to 100. These are the business rules, right? Business rules in nothing but how you write a program. They are giving some document. That is nothing but a business rule. Now here, the apparel class initialize the static variable counter to 100. So you need to initialize the static variable to 100. Okay. The output generate the auto generate item ID. The item ID auto generate. For example, I purchase the cotton. I purchase a cotton item. Then it displays my ID like C101. And then second member purchase again cotton. Then again C102. or otherwise if they purchase silk, then CS102, S102. And then before the first elements consists of the prefix consists of an apparel type. The consists of the apparel types. Okay. Calculate price. Calculate price is of method, right? Calculate price is nothing but 5% service tax on price. 5% service tax on price of the apparel, and update the attribute with the price with a new value. Right. We have to provide the 5% of tax for items. 5% tax of items. Okay. Now, like next one is cotton class. In cotton class, what happened? While invoking the parent constructor from child constructor, pass cotton as an item type. Means that you have to extend the apparel classes, but you need to pass cotton as an item type to the apparel class. Cotton as an item type to apparel class. Okay. Next, calculate the price. Update attribute price of apparel class based on rules given below. What are the rules? Let's see. Add service tax and price. Okay, service tax. Apply the discount on price. Add 5% VAT. You need to apply the discount and then add the 5% VAT on final price. On final price. Okay, that is cotton class. And then what is silk? If you buy a silk, then what are the rules? The rules is nothing but you have to update the attribute with a silk, and then you have to pass the variable like a type. Okay. Now add service tax. Okay, your service tax, but skill apparels with the price more than 10,000. If you buy more than 10,000, you can earn 10 points. You can earn 10 points, or otherwise anything less than that, less than or equal to, then earn only 3 points. If you buy more than 10,000, then you can get a 10 points. Otherwise, you can get 3 points. Right. Initialize an attribute points with identified points. Okay. I can initialize with identified points. Now add 10% of VAT on price. Add price. Perform sensitive string operation. String comparisons. Fine. Let's check how I wrote the program. I created one class apparel. They said I need to declare the counter variable. Okay. I declared the counter variable as a static. Static in the sense without declared inside the methods, inside the instance method. That is static variable. I defined it as 100. Right. Now here I'm defining the price and item type. Price and item type. I'm taking here price and item type. This class consists of item ID, item type, and price. Right? 3 things only, right? Here, let's see here. Price and item type. Now item ID is auto generated. Item ID is auto generated. So item type of 0. Item type is getting from base derived classes. So item type of 0 plus apparel counter plus 1. This counter plus 1. Okay. Now it concatenates both. Then it stores in item ID. So every time if you buy anything, it will add the one add one number to item ID. Okay. Next, price and item type. Now calculate price. What they said, 5% of VAT. They said 5% of VAT. So I add 5%. 5% equal to 0.05. Add 5%. Okay, that updated in price. Now each and every item which is defined inside the init method, you have to write the get set method according to your requirement. Now I already here setting up the item ID. So I'm getting that item ID. I'm getting item ID here, and then get price. Price is updated here. The price is updated here. So just I'm getting that price. Before that, I'm setting price. Why? Because each and every price is different. After updating, after calculating of VAT, after calculating of discount, each and everything is updated. Maybe it will useful, so I declared here, right? So I'm getting type of item. I'm getting type of item also. Okay, let's coming to cotton class. Coming to cotton class, what they said, you have to pass the attribute as a cotton. You have to pass the attribute as a cotton. So here I'm taking here price and discount. Price and discount. Why? Because discount we need to give, right? Price and discount. What is the price of cotton item and then discount? So I'm passing that a super class init method. I'm passing to super class init method with the parameters price and cotton. So this consists of price and item type is cotton, right? Now I'm initializing discount. Okay, here calculate price. Calculate price in a sense, how much of discount. After discount you need to add 5% of VAT. You need to add 5% of VAT. So here price equal to, I'm getting price, self dot get price. Get price where it present? In super class. In super class get price. Okay, the price is there. Price is price is getting from cotton class only. So super dot get price. Get price method is present here. That price consists of the cotton price. Okay, price. Now I'm giving discount. I'm giving discount here. I'm updating in price. I'm giving discount and then total price is updating. Here this line like price equal to price minus price into self dot double underscore discount by 100. Okay, this statement I wrote in short way, right? Prints minus equal to print price into self dot double underscore discount by 100. I'm calculating discount and then I'm subtracting price and discount price and then I'm updating the price here. Then add the 5% of VAT to price and add 5% of VAT to price, and then I'm just setting the price. I need to update, right, price list. So I'm setting the price. That is about calculate price. And then get discount. I'm getting this discount here, right? Get I'm just returning that discount price. I'm just returning that discount price for printing purpose, for future use, right? So coming to silk. Here what I'm doing, right? I'm I'm just passing the parameter price and silk. I'm just passing the parameter price and silk. Here the self dot double underscore points. Self dot double underscore points is none. Why? Because initially I don't have any points. After calculating, I need to update the points. Right? So calculate price of self, super dot calculate price, super dot calculate price. Here it is calculate price. Calculate price consists of already have data for discounting and add the 5% of VAT, right? I'm getting this one. Calculate price. If get price is greater than 10,000. After calculate price, here the last statement is setting price. Setting price is updated price. So I'm getting price is greater than 10,000. You can get 10 points. Else points is 3. After that, set price. What the getting price plus getting price into 1. Getting price into 1. Here let's see here. It's a 10% of VAT. It's a 10% of VAT. So I'm giving 0.1. For 5% is 0.05. 0.05. Right? I'm getting points here. Now I created an object. I created an object for cotton and silk. I create an object for cotton and silk. Cotton consists of a price is 10,000 and then 10 is the discount. 10 is the price is 10,000 and then this is the discount. 10 is discount. And then silk consists of I'm giving only the price. Why? Because here no discount is there. No discount is there. You are getting only the points. You are getting only points. Right. Cotton object dot calculate price and then silk object dot calculate price. Calculate price is present in this one. This is calculate price. After calculating price, it sets the price. Means that the price data is updated. The price data is updated. Now print cotton details. Cotton object dot get item ID. Cotton object dot get item ID. I'm getting item ID, price and discount. Right. Here the print of star into 50. I use it to differentiate between the cotton and silk. Right. Print silk details, silks dot get item ID and then points. Then points. See here. C101. Yes, 102. Yes, 102. If I create one more thing, it will print like CRS 103. CRS 103. Right? Did you understand this program? Today's assignments also are same like this program, only I have given. Only one program I have given with inheritance concepts, right? Only one program I have given in assignments. Right. In 3 minutes, the Kahoot quiz will activate, or in 3 to 5 minutes. Right? Please submit before 5 o'clock. Submit before 5 o'clock, and then exam take an exam before 4:45. Clear? Yes. Anil sir. Do you have any doubts? Yes. The Kahoot is activated. You can take an exam now. One second, hold in the line. Don't left from the meeting now. Anil sir. One second, if you left. Okay, write a program now. What's happens here?